existence.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Radiant Black podcast. Today, we are doing an episode of Radiant Roster where we're going to be discussing the new MCU movie, Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. So, that was an awesome movie. I can't wait to discuss it here with my friends and co-hosts Charlie, Matt, and Ali. How are you guys doing? Do you guys like the movie?
Well, I'm going to save my opinion for later, but I think this movie was fantastic. And, spoilers from here on out. But yeah, Doctor Strange versus the mom was fantastic. It was great. To put like the mom in every sense of the word.
That's true. That's funny.
It was great. I definitely enjoyed it. I had a super fun time.
Yeah, no, me too. I'll save more spoilers for later too. But overall, I've already been a couple times and I had a great experience both times. It was really fun. Can't wait to discuss it.
Yeah, so I'll start it off. I'm a big Doctor Strange fan. I like reading comics. I have a very extensive run of Strange Tales, like from Silver Age up until I have Doctor Strange #1, like the actual real #1, the one where it's Strange number 169, which got renamed to Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange. I love Clea. I do have the first appearance of Clea, the first appearance of Dormammu. So I'm saying all that just to give you an idea. Like I do read this shit. It's not just like I know him from the MCU. I like Doctor Strange a lot. I was very satisfied with this movie overall. My biggest complaints have to do with the direction of the MCU. Like, I think the movie was really good, and we'll get into it now. But I think my biggest complaint is like I think it disregards a lot of what was established in Loki and just in general on the MCU, and it kind of makes it feel worthless. So
What do you mean?
Like Loki established a lot of like time rules, a lot of multiversal rules, which get thrown out of the window here.
Yeah.
Like
they went and fixed everything, right?
Yeah. WandaVision set up like the redemption of Wanda in a lot of ways, and then they just made her go like full batshit crazy here.
On that specific point, I read that Sam Raimi didn't actually watch WandaVision, and I love Sam Raimi, right? I love Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I love the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. But I feel like if you're doing this, which is like her next arc, right? Like this is what WandaVision was setting up. I feel like you should kind of know what's the setup for the story that you're about to tell.
Wasn't
like
she
you
ring the
said-
tomb at the end though of WandaVision? Like it doesn't that foreshadow that she, even though she had her arc, that she could still go down a bad path?
Pretty much the post-credit scene was her. She took hold of the Darkhold and she was in the post-credit scene looking for her kids that were destroyed. And the thing with that, it didn't exactly say how far along that was after the events of WandaVision, but we do know the events of Multiverse of Madness were after No Way Home, so that would have been after that school year. So it's been about 8 months, maybe like 7-8 months as she's been searching for her kids through the multiverse. So that's kind of the only headcanon they never said that stuff like that though. Stuff like that should have been spelled out. I've told a lot of people this movie isn't by far, like not even close for me for one of the best MCU movies, but it is one of my favorites. Like it was a lot of fun in a lot of different aspects for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that in a lot of ways. Like it's not the best and everything, but for me, I really enjoyed it. Like it's upper tier for my enjoyment.
Definitely top half. Definitely top half easily.
Yes. Yeah.
It's probably higher for me than you guys. But you guys might have it higher personally based on your just pure favorites.
I was higher when I saw it, but then I digested the movie and I realized there was a lot I didn't like nitpicks, which I'll talk about. But I do like the movie overall. I really enjoyed it, but there's some certain things that really upset me. One that I'll really get into because it really pissed me off. But yeah, so we opened with Defender Strange, who it was pretty cool change to see Defender Strange. And I think that's one thing that I already didn't like about the movie choice of the movie direction, at least the greater MCU direction.
The pace was wild.
It's not the pacing so much, which I agree it was wild, but I think it's the why are you just starting the movie like this?
It was full throttle from the start. Yeah, it was also kind of like what's going on. Yeah, no,
it doesn't
very
connect to
Ragnarok.
anything
You're right
before
thrown
that.
into it.
It doesn't connect to anything before that from that beginning. So if you don't know if you're not like well versed in the MCU, you're gonna be kind of confused, like what the fuck is going on in that moment.
And I did want to say that's a good point. So I've seen this movie twice, and the second time I saw it with one of my friends who has no knowledge of any MCU. He doesn't know he doesn't even know who Doctor Strange is. He didn't know who Wanda was, all that.
And this
And
is
I
what
kind
he
of gave
probably the
him
most homework for.
Yes,
Realistically.
I gave him kind of the quick up first, like, oh, the witch, she made a new reality. She went crazy. Now she's going to look for her kids again and try to get them back. And he was able to follow it. I thought they gave enough points to kind of allow you to be able to follow the story, but for sure there was moments that just kind of left me wanting more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
it was a cool scene though. Like the
Yes.
powers and the sorcery, and people are like, oh man, like Doctor Strange doesn't do enough cool magic in MCU. It's like, no, that was really cool. Like the whole fight was awesome. The monsters, the realm itself, the Book of Ashanti being there, all that stuff was amazing. But
Yeah.
like for me, just like it was very sudden. Like if they had just explained what the fuck was going on a little bit more, it would be better. But it's okay. It's not bad or anything. It's
You
just
got a
like,
lot to
Yeah.
do this movie
Yeah.
though. It's
Yeah.
like not unlike
but it's
No Way
short
Home,
though.
right?
It's short though. It's like 2 hours.
Yes.
The movie. So it
That's
could have
what I was
Sam
benefited
surprised
Raimi, he
about.
doesn't
from
make
10 to
super long
15.
movies.
Yeah, it could have benefited from 10 to 15 minutes more, in my opinion, just to flesh certain things out and to focus better on other storylines, in my opinion. But it starts out like that. We get the introduction to America Chavez right away. And that's when you begin to realize, like right off the bat, that this is another thing that bothered me, even though I understand it and I respect it. America Chavez is in the movie just because the movie doesn't work without her. Like that's the only reason she's in the movie. Like she's a dope
Yeah,
character and I
she's a
enjoyed
tool.
her.
Yeah.
But she's a tool. Like 100% the only reason she exists in the MCU at this point is because this movie would not work without, because if America's not there, they just use the Eye of Agamotto and everything's like solved. There's
I
no
still
issue.
think she was handled well and got a really
Oh,
great
she was
arc
amazing.
in a
Yeah.
movie with
I actually
where she's like the
said,
tertiary character, really.
I was
I-
saying that I think her chemistry with Doctor Strange is better than Peter Parker's chemistry with Doctor Strange, which
Probably.
feels
Yeah.
forced. in a
I
lot
wasn't
of
huge on
movies.
their chemistry personally.
It feels
I-
forced, in my opinion.
I thought for her, I really just from the start, it gave you that little bit once you saw Strange try to like drain, like literally like kill her almost, like you kind of like started feeling a little bad for her. But overall, I really enjoyed her character. I was assuming maybe our Strange was gonna meet her and we were gonna see her origin or something, but I didn't mind how we just kind of got into it and she was just already jumping through the multiverse. She's been through 72 universes, but there was a few times where she's been through 72 universes. There was a few things I was like, okay, she should know how to do this, but that's kind of a different story.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like you were scared 72 times, or something terrified you enough 72 times, and you still don't know how to use it. But
Yeah, it's
I
like,
did like her.
She
overall.
probably
Like,
has PTSD though. Like imagine that you got lost like that, right?
Okay,
Like,
when I saw the movie, everyone should have PTSD in the universe after the snap, losing your loved ones for 5 years and then coming back. Everyone,
Yeah.
like half the world, like
yes.
everyone should
But-
be messed up.
You just can't take that seriously when you see Gargantos on the buildings
It's true.
fighting American Chavez, and they literally, the whole wedding is just looking out and just laughing, and they're like, "Oh, look at that! Like that's just
That's
an
free
entertaining fight.
entertainment.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just another
Yeah.
Tuesday, right? Like we're just,
Yeah.
oh yeah."
especially
Yeah,
in New
that's
York.
true.
New York is the
That
center
was
of
kind of
everything-
like,
of
oh
everything.
boy.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't like that, to be honest. But yeah,
no,
like,
me
like
neither.
that was yeah. I felt like that was a scene that existed just so they could like have character development for Christine and Steven. like
Well,
literally.
you show the different ones too, right? Like just seeing
Yeah.
another universe one isn't one if we actually see her on screen because it's been like 6 years since she's been in the movie and been involved in this universe, right? So you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't like whatever. But so we get to the more important part later on where she's explaining. She's giving the multiverse 102 introduction because we got 101 in Loki, right? And this is like the end of the seminar of multiverse introduction to casual audiences around the world, where they're finally
much.
training them to pretty much understand what the fuck is expected of the MCU moving forward. Because that's what it felt like. It's like we're done the tutoring now. Now you guys know what multiverse is. Now go crazy. That's when they started
Yes.
being like, other strange, other strange, this person, there's this universe, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, comic readers are like, yeah, whatever. You like skip the fucking PowerPoint. We know this. And everyone else is like, oh my God, like mind blown,
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
skipping
kind of
a little later to when Wanda was actually introduced. I thought that was really cool the way she was and how the trailers. I know I watch all the trailers and stuff. They kind of led you to believe that she was going to be teaming up with them a little bit, or it might be a different multiversal Wanda coming
Yeah.
into play. That was going to be
Like
evil.
Mordo is supposed to be the big villain. A lot of people are saying.
Yes,
I'd love to see that
I
now.
like how they made her the villain from the start. I like that heel turn. That line was actually super cold. Where like she's
Yeah.
like, oh, like I never said his name, did I? Right
No,
now.
I love how like she's straight up like I agree, and I love how when he caught the slip, that she said America and he didn't bring it up. I love
I
how
did
she
like that.
literally just changed. Like her voice changed, her
I
demeanor
love that.
He's
changed.
changed. Yeah.
There
She
was foreshadowing
literally
too before that.
exactly.
They
Yeah,
foreshadowed
yeah.
a lot. They did it later on too about something being an illusion. They did it 2 times. I forget the second time because
I did notice the first time. Yeah, I took note of that the second time. He flies down and she's picking off the branches and she picks off the branch and he's like, "Oh, that smells
almost
really
feels
good."
real.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
real." Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I
Yeah.
love that stuff.
I think this movie was really clever, and I think like hot there. I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna say right now. I think Scarlet Witch is like a top 5 MCU villain. Like she was amazing in this, and the horror aspect of this made this like the flavor of this movie is different than everything else in the MCU. It's distinct as hell. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought Scarlet Witch was a great villain, for sure. I personally didn't like her motivations in this movie. I thought it was stupid as fuck.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can
Like
see
I'll explain why. And I know you love Scarlet Witch, so some of this is gonna piss you off, but I just think like writing wise, like it's just
that. Oh,
stupid.
I agree. The writing was all over the place.
Like how could you justify killing a little girl to save your kids? It literally makes no sense.
That's the part
It
that
literally makes no sense.
The dark hold took over
Like
her mind.
I get that, but at the end she just looks at her and like has a revel like what the fuck? Like to me
Yeah,
that was
no,
the,
oh my
like,
gosh, yes.
that was
That
why
was
that was
brutal.
why I wasn't sold. Like I
Anger
just,
leads
like,
to hate.
it just
But, like,
Hate
you
leads
kinda-
to.
bro,
kinda
it's like
knew that it was gonna happen,
it's like
though.
Darth Vader, bro. You have to commit. Like you either start fucking everything up or you just don't. You can't be one
Yeah,
or the
no,
other.
that's fair.
She held the
That's-
whole town hostage
bro. And then let me explain.
before she lost her kids.
Fuck it. Fuck going through the movie like linearly. Let's just talk about what we liked and didn't like. I'm gonna explain what I didn't like because that's what really gets me going. Okay, I didn't like the Illuminati,
Gloves are off now. Here we
Illuminati
go.
fight. I didn't like.
Oh
it.
my god.
Let me explain why. Let me explain why. Because what the fuck? First of all, while she kills the first two, what the fuck are Monica and Captain Carter doing? Are they watching? Are they standing there watching them die?
Yeah,
Because
they're like, oh
they're
shit, let's make sure my
doing
friends
nothing.
don't die.
They're literally, bro,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I'm
Getting
like, wait, she's literally killing them, and they're literally like she's turning Reed into spaghetti, and they're watching. They're literally watching, bro. Like it's hard to notice in the moment because the movie's entertaining and it's captivating, and your attention is focused at the person who's getting fucked, not what's going on behind them. But when you think about it rationally, you're realizing that like while she's turning Reed into spaghetti, like Captain Carter and Monica or whichever Rambo it is are literally standing there. They're just standing there. They're just
Oh.
there. They're just there. They're not doing anything. They're just
Just
watching.
taking turns. Taking turns.
Like
Yeah,
that,
no, it
that
was
that was
it was definitely jarring, and I did feel bad. One thing I felt so bad going in, I saw this little girl going into the theater with this Captain Carter T-shirt and stuff like that. And stuff like that, man. I didn't see her after the movie, thank God. So
man, she
I can't-
spent she
you guys-
spent
She
Probably
more
left early.
time.
She probably left
She
after that
spent,
scene
she
crying.
spent more time fighting the Ultron bots than she did
But-
every single Illuminati member. Like,
Getting-
what the fuck?
Ultron
and getting
OP, though.
cut
Ultron was
in
actually
half.
good in this universe.
She got cut in
Captain
half
Carter
with
had
her
no
own
place in the
shield.
fight.
That
was
was pretty
badass.
disrespectful.
show
That
you-
was
It's
pretty
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, but it was badass. I love that.
Dude.
But for me, it's just like it's like what the like I just can't get over the fact that the two of them were standing there while their two other teammates were literally getting slaughtered. Like it wasn't okay. Black Bolt, you could like let that one go because he died instantly.
That
Like,
was
there's
his
nothing-
That was
death. I love
brutal.
that.
so
that
cool.
was
That was
brutal.
awesome. That was awesome. But like
Was that Anson Mount? Was it the same dude?
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
yeah. But like for me, everyone
Yes,
knows
yes.
Black Bolt's one of my favorite characters. Like he's niche, but dude, that guy is so fucking amazing. And like
She killed Pike and Picard.
I felt like he was a little disrespected there. Like I don't know why. Like I just feel like I don't know, man.
Oh.
Just the way they made him like so glum. Like he was like,
I-
it's like,
No.
I will
much
say
more,
that.
Made who so
Yeah,
glum?
go.
You know, it's more
there's a
disrespectful
there's a scene
killing.
where she's where it reads like he could just kill you with like a word from his mouth, and then he has like this glum like smile, like haha, yes,
Yeah,
like Thor almost when Thor knows that he's the most badass guy. And I'm like, first of all, Black Bolt would never do that. This guy literally spent the first 18 years of his life in meditation chamber because he was genuinely concerned that any word or sneeze or laughter or any sound he made would
yeah,
kill people.
that's crazy.
So it's like he's not the joking type. He's a king. He's the king.
But
of
this
the
universe
fucking-
maybe is more of a douche.
I
Or,
don't know, man. It's like you take a character that
Yeah, look at Mr.
I couldn't
Knight.
buy it, bro. I just couldn't buy it, man. It's like Xavier cracking a joke. It's like you'd never see that.
We can't
Like, you'd
at
never
this
see-
point. We can't expect the characterization to stay 100%.
But look, I will
Yeah.
I will say his costume was great. His powers were well done. He looked awesome. All the Illuminati looked amazing.
Yes.
They all looked amazing.
Krasinski was awesome.
If Scarlet Witch was honestly fighting Captain Marvel in a situation like that, where like she was fighting 4 people and Captain Marvel was there, she would have no chance. Captain Marvel.
That's what I'm
was-
saying. Captain Marvel died
No,
because
it's
she
so
literally put a tower on top of her, like or
Exactly.
That was a
debris on top of
stupid
her.
Well, like
That
That
was
was-
all the other
Captain
deaths were
Marvel
dope
is the
except
most
that one.
powerful.
I still think
hero
Scarlet Witch beats her. I
bar
think Magic
Thor.
beats whatever
Like,
power she has.
I think the only hero in Marvel from the conventional ones that we know, from like the Avengers, not counting Silver Surfer and the Ultra Cosmic ones, because that's when we get crazy OP. Not gonna bring up fucking Franklin Richards because he's stupid, even though I love him.
Hey, he exists in the MCU now, probably. Or his
Yeah,
dad is dead.
oh,
He's lost his
he
father.
100%
Take it easy on him.
100% exists. But like, my point is, like Captain Marvel, the only person stronger than her in the conventional Avengers is Thor. That's the only person that could take her because he has Mjolnir. Like
I
without
even think
Mjolnir,
that fight is pretty even too.
without
Like,
Mjolnir,
it's not a
bro,
wash.
I'm sorry, but like Rune King Thor, like King Thor will destroy Captain Marvel. Like Thor without the King powers, he'll lose. But with the Odin force, bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah, with
bro.
the Odin Force.
He'll win,
but-
but I'm saying it's not gonna be a wash.
It's
Like
not
it's
gonna be a wash,
gonna be a
but
fight.
he has Mjolnir. He has Mjolnir. Like
Yeah.
what, if he shows up and like somehow brings binary, okay, maybe, but like he has Mjolnir, bro. Like that, you can't fuck with that axe, bro. Like I'm sorry,
Speaking
that
of,
makes sense.
Speaking of Mjolnir, I love that cow guy that died. Or that, like, what was it? Like the walking.
Oh
dude,
yeah, yeah,
temple?
yeah. It was like a bull. Or...
Oh,
Yeah, who that?
Rintra? Is that his
Bash,
name?
who
Yeah, I
that?
don't-
Who is that?
Rintra, yeah, Rintra. It was the most disrespectful cameo I've ever seen,
Yeah.
bro. I
He
thought
had
was
like 2 lines.
That book was selling so well because people were like, they're finally putting in Rintra, and he's really cool, but they literally put him in for like 2 minutes. Yeah, like he then you never
Desecrated
see-
his corpse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's like-
battle for Komitage was really cool.
It was
That'll
cool.
be on
Oh,
one of
yeah.
my like top action
Well, hell,
scenes. in the
way
MCU
better
for me.
than Shang-Chi for me. The Shang-Chi fight
Yeah.
was messy. This one was so much
that
better.
that bus fight for me was insane. For
No, the
like
boss
in
fight-
Shang-Chi,
but talk about the
nothing
ending.
topped that.
The Final Fantasy
Nothing.
part. That Final
Yes,
Fantasy
okay,
part at
yeah,
the end of Shang-Chi,
100%.
that
It
was
got
the
got
best.
messy with
Yeah.
the dragon and
Yeah.
shit.
It got
No, no,
crazy messy.
I also enjoy honorable mention Winter Soldier at the beginning, him against the French guy. I forgot his name. That was a really good fight too. That
Him
was a really
sneaking
good
on
fight.
the boat. Yeah.
I like this scene, and I like how Wanda like got inside their heads and stuff like that. Like I thought that was really well done, and just the
Yes.
cinematography and the fact that Raimi got to go pretty friggin' Raimi in this
Bro,
movie.
the
way he-
vampire, the mirror
I
shit,
love
the mirror world shit.
Oh my god, that was some shit right out of
And the
the
stage.
Yeah, when she crawled on the TV, I was like, yes.
Yo.
Like I was saying yes. My buddy's
Yeah.
like, shut up. I was like, no, dude. Like,
the-
okay, one thing in
straight out of the
theaters.
Grudge.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like there was so many horror aesthetics here. Like it was so good. They let Raimi
But-
do a lot. Like kids were
Yeah.
traumatized by these this movie.
But it's
I'm just
it's
surprised
okay.
with
They had
that.
fun doing it.
Yeah, like
They-
she
they had fun
literally
while they-
imploded Black Bolt's head. Like I'm surprised they put that in that movie.
It's sweet though. Like I
there's-
love it. Give us one
Yeah,
horror
there-
movie. We've got 25 now. What is it? Like give us a horror one, and I think it's great. And when you grow up, you're gonna like it. And some kids need to see little scary movies and have that little like bite to it. I'm sure there's a lot of 12-year-olds and stuff like that that love Deadpool.
For sure.
In fact, I know
Yeah.
there is.
You guys
That
want to talk
would
about that zombie Strange? Because I absolutely
yeah.
love that.
That was
love
amazing.
that.
How is there
I
a
love
carcass
that.
left with after Black
Yeah.
Bolt? There shouldn't have been a car like anything left after Black Bolt killed him.
No,
But I
that
still love
was-
No,
it.
but that's the difference.
That
That's
was Defender
Strange.
Strange.
Yeah.
Oh,
from the
okay,
beginning.
okay.
Yeah, that was the one that came with American Chavez through the portal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that, speaking of that throwback scene, like that Thanos fight, seeing Thanos just dead there, kind of off to the side. I guess they were a little little more
The living,
successful than
the
our
living
guys.
tribunal thing was so disappointing. Like, like I was
Yeah.
telling, like the extent of the living tribunal you see is literally in the trailer. Like that's
Yeah.
the shot. The shot you see in the trailer is the extent of the living tribunal in the movie. That's what you see. It's like
It's the Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic World 2, right? It's like here's just enough for the friggin' trailer, and we'll see you later. But it was still sweet. Like I love to see that like quick history like lesson stuff like that. It's like it was so well done and so intense and saying like I'm sorry as you I love it. I thought it was cool.
yeah, but
Yeah,
how
no,
about that Bruce Campbell cameo though?
And that post credit scene, I love that whole thing
That was
actually. And a lot of
hilarious.
people hate it. I didn't wait for it. I
No,
went and watched it on
I
YouTube.
loved
Like,
it. I loved
I
it.
thought it was amazing.
Everybody in my theater
It's
laughed
over.
their asses off at that. Yeah,
It's
that
over.
was
Yeah,
good.
I love
No,
it.
I loved that. I loved that. That was good. No, this was a good movie for sure. And
Apparently-
That was,
wait, what?
Apparently, Bruce Campbell is supposed to be Mysterio in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I heard that before.
What?
that would
That's
that would have been
interesting.
something.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, that would have
That
been
is
something.
very
I do have a question for Bash about Clea.
Yeah.
Is so her costume to me, I don't know like literally anything about her, but her costume to me looked very much like the Eternals costumes to me. I don't know if that
I didn't love her costume. I was talking to the guys about that. I was like, it's
it
okay.
gave me pure Eternals vibes. Does she have any connection or was that just a coincidence?
No, so she's the niece of Dormammu. So that's why she looks like that. She's from the Dark Dimension. She's not from the
Will's-
same.
Okay.
You know
Will's
how
cousin?
Magic is the Sorcerer Supreme of Limbo? Clea
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's
so
not the one who's
she's-
Doctor Strange in the comics now, right?
She
Is
is.
that
She's
the character?
She's the Sorcerer Supreme of both.
Oh,
you know,
she's the
like
Sorcerer Supreme
Earth
of both right now.
and Dark
Yeah.
Dimension.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
She's his wife. Like they're married.
No,
yeah, like a
No,
lot of
that
people
that was
don't know
cool.
that.
That was cool to see Charlize Theron come in. Like that was
Like
was awesome.
in the movie, it doesn't seem like they're married. It seems like they don't have that history. But in maybe she'll tell him like from a different multiverse or universe they're married. Maybe I don't know. But in the comics, like she's been his wife for a long time, and then after he dies, the reason that he trusts her with it is because that's his wife. Like he trusts nobody else with it, and he needs a sorcerer, so he's not gonna give it to
Yeah.
some
See, that
else.
that kind of makes me feel like we're not going to see Christine Palmer much anymore. Like I feel
I
like her
think-
role in Stranger Story is kind of over.
But she
I
sucks
think
though.
they-
Like why would we want to see her? like
I'm just
like,
saying.
compared to Clea, I mean, like Clea's way.
Yeah, no,
Take your time.
I think that whole thing is done like him kind of accepting like in every universe he was in love with her, but at the end I just had that feeling when he put on that new watch face, it kind of like I don't know, it kind of just
Or
put
shadow
on
that
like
It's like
it-
symbolizes he's moving.
yeah,
he's
it's
moved
like a
on
new
from her.
turn in his life, and when Clea came in, I was like, oh, okay, like something's gonna happen. Like
Like
no, it was-
Charlize Theron is too big an actor to bring her for like one scene. It's
Oh,
clear
yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
she's
Oh, yeah.
gonna be around for a
they're
while.
signing her to some movies. I think
Yeah.
what's gonna happen with Doctor Strange and what's Rachel McAdams there. What I think is gonna happen is it's gonna be rough. They're gonna face Kang. They're gonna fail. He's gonna gain some weight. Then they're gonna defeat Kang, and then they're gonna have Doctor Strange. She'll be the new Doctor Strange, and Taika's gonna direct called Love and Magic in 10 years. So I
Oh
think
my
that's
God.
my prediction.
Alright.
No, I like what they
so,
did.
So
Listen to this, Spike.
Clea's personality is like Thor. Like she's very short tempered and she's a warlord by nature, so she's very aggressive. She's not like
Okay.
strange. Like if
Just
she's
like
Badass
royalty
sci-fi.
too, right?
Charlie's
Kinda
is
like
good.
that.
Charlie's.
Yeah, so it's like I think Clea's like she's also like I said she's the niece of Dormammu, so she has really disgusting powers, and she's like that portal she opened at the end of the movie was to the Dark Dimension, so they're going
Yeah, that was
to
cool.
where Dormammu is. So it's
Does she have like a
it
different
looked-
form where she's all like on fire and stuff like that?
yeah,
like, she's got- that's gotta be
she
magic,
Goes full
yeah.
fire. Yeah, she goes
Okay,
full
sweet.
fire. Yeah, she has like a I forgot what it's called, but it's like it's a specific form she enters.
Okay, I was
when
gonna
she's
say.
pretty pissed.
I,
Yeah.
I liked how they stayed faithful to how the Dark Dimension looked too, like in Doctor Strange 1 when he first fought
Oh
Dormammu.
yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
we see Dormammu again too.
I hope
I'm-
we see
I'm pretty-
proper Dormammu. Not a
Yeah,
fucking-
that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure we will. I'm
It was
pretty sure.
fun. It was fun as a cameo in the first one. But like if that like I always tell people, I'm like, if you watch Doctor Strange 1 and you think that was an actual like encounter with Dormammu, that's not an encounter. That's like when
Oh,
you play
man.
Pokemon. It's like when you play Pokemon and you press the run button. That's what
Yeah, it's
Doctor
like-
Strange done.
That's like
It's spam the run
Taskmaster.
button. Bro, it's not
Yeah,
even
no.
like Taskmaster because Taskmaster they just changed, but that's not. We didn't actually see Dormammu. Like they literally gave us.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's-
Yeah,
that's
he's
not
just kind of at
Dormammu.
the
That's-
end. He's just
It's like imagine. Okay, I'll give you a Green Lantern parallel. You know how the
Okay.
Guardians can project themselves into the
Parallax.
sky? Like they
Sure.
project their projection. It's like
Yeah.
that. It's like them projecting themselves astrally just to send the message. Like it's not the Guardians. It's like
It's like seeing a hologram of Palpy.
it's a
Yeah, yeah.
hologram.
Palpatine.
Exactly. Like that wasn't
Okay,
Dormammu.
gotcha.
Dormammu has a what do you call it? A
Like a
body.
physical form.
Yeah, it's a
So that'll
physical
probably
form.
be in the next movie. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
And his physical form is fucking whack. So it's like for me the way I saw it was like if you can give the deviants scenes in Eternals, why can't Dormammu have a body? Like they did the Dormammu so dirty because he has a skill and a badass look like the deviants, but instead they just made him like a
there was a lot in that movie. Yeah, I see
a
it.
ripple in space time. Basically, they made him look like that. Like it's weird. I don't know, man. It's not bad, but that's not Dormammu. That's
They'll
like
probably fix it. They might
it's a
like
taste. It's
go
a tasty
Mandarin it.
Dormammu, baby.
Yeah, they'll Mandarin it. Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
exactly. Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for. They give us the proper Dormammu because dude, the proper Dormammu is a motherfucker. Like he's
So
scary.
that was Shuma Gorath, right? That they fought at the beginning. Like
Gargantos.
Yeah,
it was
that
Gargantos, not
that was
Shuma?
It was Gargantos, and it was supposed to be, from what I heard, it was supposed to be Shuma Gorath. But sorry, Shuma, Shuma. Yes, it was supposed to be Shuma, but the reason it wasn't is because they don't have the licensing to that. It's like an old Cthulhu thing that they kind of used, incorporated.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's like they can't use that name. It's like licensed by some.
Really? It's
Yeah.
in Marvel vs. Capcom,
Yeah.
but they can't get
Yeah.
it in the movie. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. So yeah, they probably paid,
Very
like,
similar though. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
No.
it was meant to be Shuma, but they had to change the last minute to Gargantos. The name they just named it Gargantos just
It's
because.
the impossible Shuma Gorath.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Gotcha.
I don't like personally when they do, like, it was cool to see. Don't get me wrong, but I think Shuma's that's a fucking huge opponent that you can't just defeat like that. Like that's like
Yeah, okay, it makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see, like aesthetically and the whole fight. That was cool to see. That's why
The eye pop out was so graphic.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That was so, like, I don't know. It reminded me of Suicide Squad. You know the ending of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
The Suicide
We almost
Squad.
got Jaro and Shuma within a calendar year or within a year.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
close.
All we need is Jaro now. Like that's all we need. Just give us Jaro, and like people never complain about Robin being in the movie again. I guarantee it. But
Ugh.
no, that was I like this movie. I also really like the first after credit scene when you see is it the eye, the third eye?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
dude,
eye.
I love how metal music plays when he gets his third eye. Like every time it's
There-
open,
oh.
metal music is playing.
They had a couple like different song choices, like metal choices throughout. Like the first time, like the montage of like Wanda like starting to dream walk and
Yeah,
going through
I
the
actually love that part. It was one of my
universes.
favorite
Oh,
parts of the
gosh. That was crazy. Like some of the songs just hit so nice in here. Like even when like Xavier came on in that
Yes!
X-Men.
The X-Men
Animated series.
90s theme
You see
song.
that in the credits? That was incredible.
Beautiful.
Wait, did you guys hear the? Sorry, what did you guys think of the fact that fucking, and I brought this up several times on the older episodes because it was such a big deal to me. The fact that Wong is Sorcerer Supreme and not
Yeah.
Strange. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the respect at the end. I did like the bow, him kind of
But bro, it's like,
giving away his
Wong
ego,
is
him
such a
show.
bitch though. Like he gets
I-
his ass handed to him. and it's
Okay,
like-
no, that's a different argument altogether. I agree with that, but I did like him showing his ego kind of just dropping a little
yes.
bit, and him just showing
Yeah.
a little bit of character
Humility,
development.
yeah.
Well, he doesn't get a movie, so I think Doctor Strange is really winning. He gets 2. Wong still has 0.
Wong is a side
fair.
character, but he's the Sorcerer Supreme. It's funny.
Did
Yeah,
you guys see
his
What If?
characterization overall though?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen What If?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of those deaths, like all those cameo deaths, reminded me of all. There was so many deaths in What If. Like I remember, like Thanos comes in to meet like the Infinity Ultron, he just cuts him in
Yeah.
half. Like
Yeah.
Red Skull just goes out like in an instant. Like there was so many just quick deaths like that
Yeah.
that just happened that were just so jarring, and all those Illuminati deaths like just reminded me of that. Like just quick.
I knew when we saw them in the trailer. I knew they were gonna die, or like
I didn't think it was that. I didn't think that quick. Like I was
I knew
surprised
they
it
were
was
gonna
that
die.
quick.
Because
Captain
I
Carter lasted way
was
longer
I
than I
was
thought.
like, how are they gonna? The moment I told the guys, I'm like, because I sold my Captain Carter 125 too. Like the moment the moment they showed Captain Carter officially in the trailer, like just the shield, they didn't show her face, and then her lower torso.
Yeah.
I was like, she's not. I told Ali, I literally messaged her.
Yeah, she looked great. She looked
Oh,
amazing.
everybody looked amazing. All the
They-
Illuminati props, they all looked
Oh, man.
amazing. Yeah, like seeing John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, but people in my theater were screaming, they were cheering, they were like screaming,
Ye-
cheering. It was amazing. It was amazing. I was
cool.
so happy, genuinely. Like I might sound like I didn't enjoy this movie, but I really enjoyed this movie. Like thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a mild
You have some
critique of the
nitpicks.
Illuminati,
Yeah.
with the Illuminati, but overall, loved the movie. I even heard people saying like, I didn't enjoy that scene where they're like fighting with the music, and like I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I thought that
No,
was
that was cool.
It's
That was
Fantasia,
man.
really cool.
It's Fantasia.
Yeah, it was
That
really.
was dope.
I found it was really cheesy, but it's the same Raimi movie, so let it pass.
Dude,
It
that's
was at
straight-
least.
that's straight
It was,
from
it was
the
cool.
comics, bro.
You know,
That's straight from the comics. That's shit literally he does in the comics. That's why I'm like,
it's
just-
still
like
be kind
when
of cheesy,
people
right?
say,
Like it's like
when people say it's
yeah.
cheesy,
That-
I'm like, you don't read comics. Like that, it's like
No, that's fair. Like I had that feeling the whole way throughout the movie, like, oh, this dialogue's kind of cheesy. It's so, but I just accepted it and I just had fun with it. Like
Yeah.
I just like he
for
goes
sure.
back, slaps the piano.
Like,
It's
have
like,
you
boom,
guys
like,
seen Spider-Man by Raimi? Like it's cheesy as fuck.
It is
oh,
very
it
cheesy.
was
Oh,
just
sure.
so fun.
I
It
actually
was
just
so
watched was
fun.
especially
It's
cheesy.
amazing.
It stood out.
Cheesy.
The rest I was fine with.
But like
That's
comics
fair, yeah.
are cheesy. Like that's what I'm saying.
It
And
was
it's
cool
like
the way you threw them.
I like seeing that cheese personally when it comes, because it's like that's what a comic is. Like there are scenes that are always going to be cheap. Like for example, I'll tell you a scene that it doesn't matter who's directing it, whether it's David Finch, fucking George. I don't even know who the guy who directed Mad Max. I forgot his name. It doesn't matter which one of these motherfuckers are directing this movie. If someone directed that scene, and everybody would love this, but it's still cheesy as hell. Where like Superman, and we've seen this in Superman and Lois, where Superman comes in like a really shitty homemade costume, and people are like, "Nice costume," and he's like, "My mom made it for me, bro."
Yeah.
Everybody loves that. There is no human being
Yeah.
on this earth that doesn't love that scene. But that is cheesy as fuck. Like that is like
Fair
cheesy
enough.
as hell.
It just stood out to me. That's just my reaction to seeing
No,
it.
no, of course, it's
Like,
okay, but I'm
as
just-
opposed to
I'm just
everything else in the
saying,
movie that
yeah.
was cheesy, like especially the guy, like the Bruce Campbell cameo with him being the shit of himself. But this was like okay,
That was
It's
just
all-
a little extra, a little on
That
the
was
extra
extra,
side.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
the
fair.
mustard.
That's fair.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was a little cruel for 3 hours. Jesus Christ, that's a
Well, 2 weeks.
dickish movie.
2
Oh, was it 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Or
2
that's
weeks.
3
That's
hours.
2 weeks.
2
That's
weeks,
2
yeah.
weeks.
Or was it 3
It's
weeks?
2
I don't
3
know.
weeks. It was like 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, it was three.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Like that.
3
Yeah,
weeks.
that's torture. Like that's.
Yeah. I was thinking like this guy maybe not a superhero. You know? Like, what the fuck?
Do you think
You
John
know-
Krasinski's Fantastic Four is going to shave when we see when we're obviously going to get like the 616 version of him, right?
I mean,
I think-
yeah, probably
think-
because here he was probably for Jack Ryan. He kept the whole thing, and they recently announced that Jack Ryan is done after season 4. So
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
modern look has a beard. So
Yeah.
it depends. It depends on because people like the beard. I
I
like.
think it could work either ways,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
I don't
it
mind
works
it
either way. He looks better with the beard for sure. But
I think
I
it-
still think the guy who played Fantastic Four, Reed in the first movie, was amazing.
That is fair. I just think at this
Yeah.
point, if you put anyone else there, people are gonna say, "Where is Krasinski?" Like he was.
Fair.
Yes.
He
No,
he
for
was.
sure.
I'm pretty sure he's directing.
Well,
the
he's
movie,
coming
too.
back. He's
Yeah,
coming-
yeah, that's what I was gonna say because John Watts just got like he
He backed
stepped
out.
down from the movie or whatever. So like if he comes up produces that like that could be something special for sure. Like,
Even though-
it will be.
it was
No, he's
Illuminati
coming
Reed,
back.
but I wasn't huge on it. Like he was playing like kind of like evil or like whatever, like super neutral Reed or like chaotic
Yeah.
neutral Reed, but like I wasn't huge on it. Like he didn't have that quite like
He
Just the
didn't
more
have he didn't have-
generic.
Exactly. He sounds like
Yeah.
he doesn't have the intellect down, in my opinion.
yeah.
Like the guy, I don't know his name. Who played Mr. I'm gonna look this up.
Ian Garofalo.
He was good. He was
Ian
very
Bro,
something.
he was amazing. Ian Griffith, whatever his name is. Yeah. I'm sorry I butchered that, but yeah, he was amazing. He was like genuinely an amazing.
It was just yeah.
Mr.
It was those movies were what they were. There's nothing he could have done, but he was a really good Reed.
yeah.
He had the look.
And John and Steve, what's the guy who plays Steve Rogers? Chris Evans was a really good Torch.
Yeah,
Human
Johnny
Torch.
Storm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I think the casting for Fantastic Four, the original one, wasn't that bad. It was just like it's just missing a few important elements. I honestly think like those Fantastic Four movies for the time they came out weren't that bad. They were like
No, I don't think
They're
that was bad.
fun
The first,
for,
the
like-
second one
Yeah.
is shit with Galactus. What they did with Galactus. I
That's
think.
what I was
Yeah.
just gonna
Yeah,
say.
it's- yeah,
Like the whole Galactus reveal.
Parallax.
I
yeah, bad.
yeah. Parallax. Oh my god, yes.
Hector Hammond level bad, bro.
Yeah,
like,
talk
like,
about anticlimactic.
I
Holy
watched
Don't
it
make your villain a cloud.
go again.
shit.
I swear to God, Green Lantern, like there were some good things in that movie. Like
Oh,
Kilowog,
Sinestro, Mark Strong Sinestro is
Sinestro
perfect.
was amazing.
yes,
Kilowog
yes.
was really well done. That's it. That's it. Like, it ends there.
The
Everything
race
else
car was real
oh,
cool. The way it went around the loop. No, but that they do that in the show. I
Ryan,
can't. But
Yeah.
that's easy.
Ryan
I
Reynolds
think he
wasn't
threw one.
well,
Popping
Hal.
glove.
He doesn't have the charisma Hal should have, in my opinion.
He just didn't give a shit. Like he was just doing that for a paycheck. Like he
He's
just
also
had no
too-
passion.
He's
He
too
said like
funny,
he just
right?
didn't have passion for it. Yeah.
Hal's more serious, in my opinion. Like you need
Look,
some
Ryan Reynolds just plays Ryan Reynolds. He
Yeah.
does it really well, but
he's
just
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's true. I think it's interesting how Professor X knows Wanda, right? Because he has a Wanda in his universe, but there's like a completely different lineage where Magneto's her dad and where
that
he
was
comes
such
from.
a cool scene. That was such a cool
That
I
was
love that, and how
awesome.
she's under the rubble. I
Like
thought that was
the
a great representation of
modification of her trauma, like literally drowning her.
genius,
Like, it's
genius.
insane.
There was a lot of touches like that in this movie that I think really.
Yeah,
put
you
it
saw the animated
higher.
series Mind Waves coming off of like when he
Yes.
was doing that,
Yeah.
and putting that in.
Yeah.
That was so
Ooh,
awesome.
yeah,
So
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah, and he
I
was
love
good at that.
seeing the kids again. I'm glad they brought the same kids from WandaVision. It's cool
They
to
must
see
have
them,
filmed
like,
that
age a little bit.
pretty close to WandaVision, eh?
They look like they grew a bit.
They look about a little bit, yeah, but I don't know.
They
they're
look
taller.
older in the press releases and like
Yeah.
the red carpet than in the movie, so I think you're right.
Yeah. I would say I was surprised obviously I don't think Paul Bettany was probably available during those times, but I was surprised he wasn't
I
like
was
in
expecting to
any
see
of
White
those
Vision,
realities.
or
yeah,
you're right.
yeah, White Vision. Like I was.
I also
so
think
much
like another thing, like it must be I totally understand why Wanda went off the rails, but it kind of lessens like Vision's sacrifice now. Now that I think about it, like at the end of WandaVision, because it's like
it
she's went back to
does.
being actually crazy. But I'm glad
See,
because at least she embraced it fully. Like
There
she's
will be
fucking
redemption
crazy.
for her eventually.
It
She'll be
was
teaching at
so
Strange Academy in
They
10
can't
years.
redeem her, man. If they
Strange
redeem her,
Academy in
then
10
I'll
years,
so
yeah.
disappointed. And like, how are they gonna redeem her? I think this is building to the No More Mutants thing to make her even worse.
Yeah. Well,
She'll
she
help them
destroyed
make
the
I
it
was-
Darkhold.
It'll be fine.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
I don't-
they would
Oh, by the way,
reverse.
people saying
What?
the incursions, right? The incursions, we forgot about that
Yeah.
for Secret War.
Yes.
People are saying that's gonna like end the MCU. This is what I think. I don't think it's gonna end the MCU. I think Secret War is gonna be how they introduce all the new characters like Miles, Gwen, all those. Because like it's the perfect. That's exactly the purpose it served in the comics. Was like obviously
Yeah.
apart from being an amazing event, it brought all those ultimate characters into the MCU proper. All those like other characters like Spider-Gwen, Miles, all those characters. So it's like I think it's gonna do that. I think we're gonna see maybe the Ultimates, and then eventually we'll get a new Marvel universe with all new, all different. And then you'll have Jane Foster, and you'll have all the people
Yeah,
that
I
are
don't know
sending
if
Laura,
Alex is doing
Young
this contract.
Avengers, Sam Alexander,
X24 is going to the
23,
gym.
yeah.
yeah,
Like,
X-Men,
staying in
all
shape.
those things. Yep. Also,
Really?
if they do
Yeah.
that scene where Doctor Doom like pulls out Thanos' skull, that people are gonna
Yeah.
scream much.
Yeah, I want to get there. That like the Laura and Gabby like Kenny dynamic. That's like one of my favorite Marvel duos. I really hope they start introducing that kind of stuff.
I don't know when we'll get X-Men. I hope it's sooner than later.
That's
We've tested
I
the
really
waters.
do.
This is the most X-Men we've gotten. We had
Yeah.
Ralph Boner, which was like what we thought, we thought of something else. But this is officially, I mean, that's Professor X. That is an X-Men, and we got Inhumans. So that's a big deal that we got the
Yeah,
first of those.
and we got Fantastic Four. So
yeah,
and there was a mutant. There was
Well,
a
look, I'll
mutant
tell you
in the
guys a secret.
prison in Black Widow in the
yeah.
what's it called?
Wait,
where Red Guardian was locked up.
Ursa Major?
unless it's Golden
Yeah,
Balls,
yeah,
I don't care.
Ursa.
Oh,
No,
Ursa, right,
Yeah.
Ursa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. When we get to all those characters in the Illuminati, I personally think are gonna come back. All of them. Like not as them as the same universe versions, but all those heroes. I think will
Even
come back.
Black Bolt?
Yeah, because bro, like why
Isn't-
wouldn't you do Inhumans? Black Bolt's dope as fuck, and then you have that connection to Miss Marvel. But even if Black
Miss
Bolt
Marvel's
doesn't
not
come-
gonna be Inhuman though.
Isn't Monica's mom
It's
dead?
not-
Didn't she
disappointing.
die? Unless it's
Just
what
one.
if.
Yeah,
I
and
think we're
yeah,
scared.
Yeah, but
universe.
Captain Carter,
Yeah.
we've already seen the Captain Carter from What If crossover, right? She's already gone through a portal into a different universe, so we're probably gonna see her. And then don't forget, during this movie, when we see that montage when they're going through all the universes, they do go to an animated universe. So
Yes.
that might be
That was cool.
the same universe of What If for a brief second. They might have just popped there, right? So that was cool.
Okay.
The paint thing was hilarious. This like
Yeah, they went to
paint.
Block World. Same thing that happened to Drax or whatever. So that was fun. That'd be shitty to live as blocks, but whatever. No, I think that's interesting. I think that most of them can return. I think that we will see a lot of them. I don't know if we're going to see Professor X again. Maybe. I really like what they did with Professor X. How he had that little inspirational speech
Yeah,
too.
we might
with
not see what's his name, Professor like Patrick
Yeah,
Stewart.
Can we
line
kill him a
is
third
awesome.
time? How many times has he died?
He's
I
died
think
in
he's died at
Logan.
least 5 times.
Did they die in Days
Yeah,
of Futures Past?
He's died at least 5 times. I'm sure. He's died.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know.
died,
I don't remember.
He died in
I don't
Logan.
think maybe he didn't.
In
He
Logan.
died
No.
in Logan. He died in the
He did die in
Everything
X-Men 3.
trilogy. Yeah, he died in X-Men 3. He died in the newest one in this movie, Doctor Strange. So it's like, man.
It's been 3.
can't give the guy a break.
Overall,
Yeah, no,
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoyed
no,
it.
Absolutely. This conversation makes me want to go watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I'm going to. The freedom given to the Sam Raimi, I was impressed with, and good on you, Marvel. Did this open in China? Because there's a lot of like
Demonic.
imagery.
I think the reason I love this movie so much personally is because it was so Sam Raimi. Like it's so refreshing to see a Marvel movie that has style, that has its distinct style, where the
Like James
director
Gunn
put his
movies are the
stamp on
same.
it. James Gunn
Yeah,
movies are the same,
yeah.
but they're still also very MCU because they're very like
They have their own
they're
style,
similar
to
but they
Taika
still follow a formula.
like
Same with
they're
That
like-
is true.
They're like
Yeah,
Taika
yeah,
Waititi.
yeah.
But like-
they
Yeah,
make
yeah.
these like fun movies, even though they're about genocide. And I'm like, I just want to see some like if you're gonna make a movie about like people fucking getting slaughtered, do you guys remember being in Thor Ragnarok and like you're sitting and it ends on a
Everyone's
good
dying.
note. It ends and it's like such a good time. And then you
Yeah.
see the after credit scene is Thanos committing genocide to all the Asgardians. And then the next
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
opens, all the Asgardians dead. And it's like, what the fuck? Like that to me, that was so offensive because I'm a huge Thor fan, and while I thought Ragnarok was a good movie, fun movie, a really enjoyable movie, one of the better MCU movies, I thought it kind of took the piss on the Ragnarok event, which is a very serious event in the comics where
That's my biggest complaint with it. Dial it back
yeah.
20, like 15%.
it was too much
humor.
too much comedy. Yeah, it was too much. Like even at the end when like Hulk is like, even though it's funny, I agree. When Hulk like jumps out of the fucking thing and lands on the Bifrost and he's like disfigured and he just can't fight the wolf. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, like it's a serious scene. Like, you can't even like preserve the seriousness for this big battle scene. Like you have to.
Well,
make
with
it joke.
Surtur immediately at the beginning, they have Thor turn around. You're probably wondering how I got here. Like not
Yeah,
even.
that
really,
was
right?
that was. I was not a fan of that opening scene, to be honest with you. I didn't.
Yeah.
I liked the action. I didn't like him talking to the camera and making it like taking the.
There's
Bro,
great
'cause
stuff in that. The
you
whole
read God of
cast. There's
Thunder,
a lot of
right?
good comments.
You read God of Thunder, and like there's a completely different Thor. Right? We talked about this last episode, where it's like you have the godly Thor, the Thor that like mortals respect and they're scared of, the
Yeah,
Thor that
and
like
young
will
Thor.
fall down the thunder, and then you have the fucking movie Thor, who's like a joke. He feels more
Yeah.
like Star, like he acts like Chris Pratt. Like what the fuck? And it's just
He's like a teenager. He's like
that's not a
exactly
king.
teenager.
He's not a king. Like he doesn't act like a king. And I'm so glad he gave the king the kingdom to what's her face, to Valkyrie, because he's not a king. He acts like a boy, and it's just like it's like that
Yeah.
movie where Taika's, what's the movie where he did with the little boy, the Nazi boy? What is it called?
Jojo
Yeah,
Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, Jojo. It's like that movie. It's like they're trying to make something very serious too funny. It's like that's how I felt here. It's just like this character, like Thor, is a fucking god. Like he's in Norse. Like he's a
Yeah.
god. He's not like these gods are like, you see him. The fucking opening scene in God of Thunder 1 is him like partying Viking style, right? Like he got a girl in one hand, there's naked guys over there.
Like
beer
how old
every-
was he in the MCU? 500?
He's old, man. Like
I think he
he's
said
been
he's
hundred-
at least 1,000.
Yes, and it's just like in his first, I found that he was more serious and he looked more like rugged, I guess. In his first movie, he looked older, like almost more like stoic. Whereas
Those-
like
The eyebrows.
Those,
were-
yeah, those first two definitely had a little more of a style, but I definitely I feel that same way about Venom. Like obviously he's not a god, but like they don't have like at sometimes you don't have reasons to be making jokes, and I do
the
get
Venom
it.
movie
Like
is offensive. I swear, it's offensive. Like,
oh
it's
my it's
offensive.
yeah, I don't want to get into that.
I couldn't even finish the second movie. I was in an airplane. I watched it for free. I couldn't finish it. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
I mean, Carnage, like I'll say, they had some fun with Carnage. It felt like a '90s action movie,
Oh,
but
it's
like,
so-
man, like, how can you have
Every-
Venom without the iconography? Like, what? He's just
I-
good.
He's just and
Yeah.
without give me the friggin' symbol. I need the symbol.
I need the symbol.
Yes,
I need the
yes.
symbol, bro. I need it. Like, imagine Batman running around with a gray shirt and like, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no bat symbol. It's just a gray shirt and his
Yeah.
cape, and it's just like, bro,
Oh.
like, what the fuck? Like,
Also, too much comedy that doesn't land for me. Like they're trying to be funny. It's like
Yeah.
no Venom. It's like a big deal. It's like
It's a big
let it
deal.
have that tone. It needs.
Exactly, and it's just like if you're just gonna make another Venom movie about him fighting another symbiote, and it's just like one of those like generic symbiotes like Carnage, Riot, Phage, Agony, whatever. Like, man, just don't make him a movie. Just skip, and just do
Yeah.
Asian
Don't fuck
Venom.
up Null too.
We saw the symbiote come into the MCU, so maybe there is some possibilities. But ever
Secret
since I saw
Wars.
someone
I
saw
just don't
some-
like the
do
portrayal.
a,
This like drunken idiot playing like I love
Oh,
Tom Hardy.
oh.
He's one of my favorite actors, but in the movie he feels like a drunken idiot playing like
Yeah.
Eddie. It doesn't feel like this Eddie Brock. It just feels like this is a moron playing Eddie Brock.
Just do the Kate's run. Just do the friggin' Kate's run.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly.
Just reboot it and give us
right-
Dylan.
it's right
like,
there.
already.
It's
Fuck
right
it.
Give him
there.
the symbol.
Give him a symbol.
Yeah.
The most
Symbiote
important.
dragons in your trailers. You'll get symbiote
I
dragons.
think the MCU will definitely do King in Black at some point.
It's
like
up
that.
100%. It's too big not to do.
I-
It's too epic. man.
Yeah.
That's-
It's sick.
It-
and
yeah.
they don't have Sentry, and we don't need Sentry, but like just don't have Null run like a loser at the end. Ugh. I can't. That panel's burned in my
That was-
mind. That's
Yeah, that was so disappointing. I'll never forget that panel. It's like you built this guy up to be the biggest bad we've ever seen in Marvel, like worse than Thanos.
I don't care that he
You
went
have
out.
him running away. You have him running
Yeah,
away.
don't have him run. Have him think that he's cocky, like nothing's more powerful than me, and have the light like eviscerate him or whatever, like with him looking into the face, like right into whatever. But yeah, I still love King Black, and Null is always going to be like a cool villain to me. But Jesus, I hate
I
Null.
love Null, but yeah, no, that last King in Black issue, it'll forever be a disappointment for me because it was so like, it was
Yeah.
like, it was just like you built up this amazing event. Shit's so crazy. The world's taken over. You can't see anything other than the goo because it's covered the earth in this gooey shroud of symbiote. Shit's
Yeah.
so dire.
In the Clint
And then-
Tower, you're
and then-
in the
and then
Clint
what was
Tower.
it? The G-force. What was the stupid thing? Mr. Universe. It just flies through everything. And then Silver Surfer Black, a year's worth of storytelling. One of the
Gone.
most
Thank you.
amazing miniseries we've seen.
That was
literally
great.
changes changes Silver Surfer's life. Literally gives
Yeah.
him all these new powers. Changes his origin a little bit. At the end of the day, what does Venom do? Just touches him and removes it. I'm like, what? It was like it wasn't even earned. It was like a brief second in King of Black number 5. It's like Donnie just remembered. Oh yeah, Silver Surfer's still black. I gotta make him Silver Surfer again. Let me remove the corruption that he has. Oh, well, Eddie, now that you're blessed with Mr. Universe, why don't you just touch him? Oh,
Spoilers
touching
for
you-
King of Black.
not only does he touch him, not only does he touch him and remove the corruption, but he takes his board and he mixes it with the sword and he makes a fucking axe. I mean, like, come on. Like, do you know what I
I
mean? It
know.
was cool. It was cool.
That's just
but it was,
quality. That's just
it was
quality.
Hey,
too much.
Colin
right
uses an accent. That's pretty effective. But even
If
that's,
you're like 13, if you're like 13 and you're reading that, it's like the best event ever. Like you just like read the best event you've ever read in your life. But if you're like you've read events before, up until that point, you must have thought, at least for me, like I was like, this is so cool. And then I saw, I'm like, this is too easy. It's too easy. It doesn't feel earned. It just feels like you wrote an event where you wrote these people into such a tight corner that you don't know how to write yourself out. So you have this solution that just comes from the sky, literally, and just blesses Eddie with the power to defeat this guy. And I'm just like, that really upset me. I swear to God, because it was like, because the way I perceived Null was not just Null. I perceived Null as an extension of the God of Thunder saga, where he came from, like, where we see him, like, there
see
is
the
no Null
Necroblade.
Gore. Exactly. We see the Necroblade. So it's like this Necroblade, when you see the power this blade has, when you see how it's changed from wielder to wielder, how it's literally fucked up, like all kinds of stuff in the history of Marvel. And then, like, the person who created it just gets downed like that. Like what? Like, it just
is
felt
Gore gonna
like
have that in the movie?
that's the theory, because they showed him wielding a black, like, gooey sword, so people think
Well, that's
it's the-
well. What else is that going to be? And we already have the
Exactly.
symbiotes too. So this is we're getting
Exactly.
symbiotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because
Wow.
I'm like, how can you have Gore without Null? It doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make sense. Like, you could just say it's a dark god that fell from the sky, which is what Jason Aaron uses it before.
I
Donny
feel
Cates
like
breaks down.
Sony would have the rights for Null though, not
They
Disney.
do. They do. That's why it's weird. That's why I'm like, people are like, oh, we'll get Null. It's like, maybe like implicitly they'll say like, this is like the dark, all black. You know, that's what it's called, like all
They're
black.
like making $1
like-
billion with
Yeah.
these Spider-Man movies. They'll probably do another deal and negotiate for a couple
Yep.
more years of Tom Holland because I think he's getting another trilogy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't see
Yeah, like why
Spider-Man's
not?
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're both making so much money. No Way Home made insane money during the pandemic. I don't see why they.
Yeah, Spider-Man's
Yeah.
bulletproof, and they need help being babysitted because like I've seen being babysat because I was watching the DVD. I've seen No Way Home 3 times now, and the trailers they have for those movies are all Sony movies. Most of them are just garbage. Like this, like I like Sony, but holy shit, do they need like it does. You get the idea that Kevin Feige is like babysitting them. Is like, here guys, here's how to do it at these superhero movie because Sony's trash. The animation team luckily pulled off into the Spider-Verse. The Spider-Verse stuff is the best they have, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and
That stuff's just
that's what I'm
incredible.
so excited for. Yeah, like the Spider-Verse, they've got so much things going on there, and I'm thoroughly excited for that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we
Oh
get
yeah, yeah. I do want to bring up also real quick. Did you guys see the Avatar trailer? Did you
I
guys
actually
I
like
thought it
it.
was pretty
Yes.
I thought it
cool.
was pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
I thought it looked incredible. Like
yeah,
I just
very
I saw it
aesthetic.
in 3D IMAX the first time and it just
Same.
it looked really
It's the
good.
best 3D movie experience I've ever had. It is like
Yeah.
amazing when you see it. I saw it 3 times in theaters. And yeah, obviously after 10 years, like, oh my God, yeah, when we're getting these Avatar 2, this sequel, but it is kind of nostalgic, and I think it
I
did
don't
look pretty
care
sweet.
waiting. If it's good, it's worth the wait. Like
Oh,
I
for
don't
sure.
care. Yeah, like I don't 10 years, whatever. Like if it's a good movie, it's worth the wait.
You put Zoe Saldana in your movie, and she's a different color
They
alien.
they kind of spoiled
Boom,
it
you
though.
got a
Like
billion dollars.
in the trailer, they showed the Colonel from the movie, the first one. Like
He's back. He's a
Yeah,
robot.
he's back as a blue guy. What are they called?
Oh, I
What are
forget
they
his name.
called?
He was such a generic military guy, but it was great.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I always thought he would do a good Deathstroke if they ever like played him as Slade because he just looks like Slade too, but they
Hmm.
never did that.
No, I
Yeah,
thought it looked good.
yeah. I like Doctor Strange overall. I give it like a 7.5. I think it on a good day like I could give it an 8. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie, one of the most enjoyable MCU movies of recent memory. Um, I really enjoyed the cast. I enjoyed the after credit scene. I really thought that it was so cool that every time his third eye opened, you get like metal playing. I just thought
Yeah.
that was such a Raimi thing.
yeah.
And then Clea, obviously, you guys know I'm a huge Clea fanboy. I'm in love right now with the Strange series by Jed McKay. I love it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people don't like it. They're just like it's not good. Blah blah. I swear to God, I haven't met anyone who actually read Strange Tales or knows Clea that didn't like it so far. So some people might just not know Clea, and that's okay. But yeah, I highly recommend checking that out. Even if you don't know who Clea is, they do explain who she is. It's really good run, and Jed McKay is a fantastic writer. Yeah, I can't wait for the next MCU installment. And America Chavez impressed me. I actually have the first appearance of America Chavez, and I never like I bought it off the stands in America in Midtown Comics. I just bought it because at the time I saw Gabriel Delado cover of Magneto, and I'm like, I need this. And then I didn't know it was the first appearance of America. And then I had some America books up on eBay listed because the movie came out. I was gonna sell them, and then after the movie came out, I literally took them all off because I think I like America Chavez now. So yeah, I was like, I just thought this was a
No,
really cool
she's pretty
character.
good. She did
Her
really
origin's
really
smart.
And
well.
I think the actress in particular, she's very charismatic. Like she's
Yeah.
very entertaining. She's very like I enjoyed seeing her on screen. I thought she had a very positive attitude. She really added a lot to every scene. She also did the signature Raimi screams as much as possible. I really enjoyed. I loved how they portrayed her powers. Like I thought that was such a good portrayal. I was really concerned about how they would portray the Star Portals because it could look really bad if you just like
Yeah, those
The
looked
Moon Knight
awesome.
purple
It was
Yeah.
well
CGI,
done.
the
It
Moon
was
Knight
well
purple
done.
CGI, the Moon Knight purple. I was
Oh,
not a
It
fan
was
of
pretty
that.
good.
Yeah, but
Um,
I liked her portals. Yeah, I like this movie. I highly recommend it. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think
uh,
I'd give it like a 7 to 8, depending on the day. It was pretty fun. I love Wanda, I love Doctor Strange, and it sets up a lot of stuff for the MCU going forward too. And then letting Sam Raimi do what he wants really makes this movie unique compared to all other MCU movies. Like I said, talking about it with you guys makes me really want to watch it again.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've already seen it twice, and Michael see it again. Like I said earlier, like it's not the best. Like I wouldn't say this movie's as good as let's say like The Winter Soldier, but if I'm just kind of in the mood for a fun movie, I'd probably would throw this on kind of instead. I just had a really good time with it, and it was just foot on the throttle like fully from finished end. Like there was a couple chances to breathe, but it was just action packed all the way. And Wanda, my favorite MCU character, she was awesome, and definitely a top five
Wanda
villain, like
stole
you
the
were saying
show.
that.
This is a Wanda movie.
She was
Like,
awesome.
I don't know why people are saying it's a Doctor Strange
She was
movie. It's
awesome. Give us more.
Elizabeth
Give us
Olsen
give us the
killed it.
series. Give us a movie. Give us all the
this is
Scarlet Witch.
Wanda's movie. Like, let's be
Give
honest.
us all the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
This was Wanda's
So
movie.
for me, I'd say it's like maybe like I just saw it 2 hours ago. I'm still digesting it. Well, like 4 hours now after like how long these podcasts have been. But yeah, I think that for me it's like 8.3, 8.5. I think Sam Raimi nailed it. I like the freedom they gave them. This felt raw, right? Like there was a lot of jokiness, but it hit harder than Ragnarok. Like there's a lot of like horrific stuff in there, and it just didn't feel like it was pulling any punches, which I think is good. It wasn't like horrific. There was a lot of stuff that might scare kids, but like I think when you're 10 and up, you can probably handle it. A little scary movie. There's nothing wrong with horror, and it's still Marvel horror. There's nothing here that would like mess you up.
That jump scare in the temple when they turn on the lights and then you see the beast like red eyes.
Yeah, there was a couple.
I was sitting
That
in
temple
a
looked like
full
Doom.
theater. I was sitting in a full theater. There were
Yeah.
like I went alone, right? And
Yeah.
I was sitting in a full theater. There were people on both my sides. Both of them shook when that scene happened. I wasn't scared at all because I was expecting, like, I know Raimi. I know he's gonna do that, but they shook. They like freaked the fuck out.
That jump scare didn't get me, but it was good. Like it was well done. It kind of looked like a temple from Doom. There's some snow levels in the reboots, and like it was so good. Like the aesthetic of this is really nice. The pace is really cool. Like what getting into it is like cool. It's a comic book movie. Just give us 3 acts of like really cool like set pieces and cool stuff. I thought the stuff they did with the magic, like the fights with the handcuffs, how he had
undead cloak. His undead cloak.
That was too cool.
Yep. Yeah, and the dream walking stuff is really cool, and then doing that with like a zombie is like really amazing. Like who says you have to be alive?
I love that they explored more of the mystic side of the MCU in this movie.
Yes.
Like, we saw a lot of that, which was so cool.
Yeah, I think Sam Raimi, like, is this his first movie since Oz, the Great and Powerful? Yeah, I think maybe he might have done some other like producing. I don't know if this is his first like directing job since, but like he's redeemed himself in the superhero genre. Not that I think he needed to. Spider-Man 3 was like a cluttered mess. It wasn't necessarily his fault, and he's like apologized for it, but he still gave us 1 and 2, so he's in the positive. But yeah, this was fantastic. It wasn't just like Raimi. There was like Do, Raimi, Fa, Sola, and Tito in this shit. Like they went full Raimi. They fucking killed it. So yeah, it was great. 8.5 for me. I love to see it. There's some movies I watch when I feel like you see stuff like this is like made for me. You get the magic. You're like, I'm watching this. I'm like, oh yeah, Scarlet Witch is in this shit. This is amazing. Like I just a lot of good stuff. And I feel like we're in the fan service era for sure with the multiverse. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but like if we go to Secret Wars, then I think that it's gonna stay like this for 5 years, especially if they keep making like 800 to like $1 billion on these. So yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
All right. Well, is that everyone? Did Ali say it?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I like the movie. I'll
All
give it an 8.
Gonna go see it again.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I might, maybe. I do want to see Everything Everywhere all at once.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my
I'll go
god,
see that.
My
dude!
local theater
I've
has
seen that 3
Everything
times already. I'm gonna go see it a 4th time.
God
That
damn,
is
Charlie, you're
literally-
getting to the movies.
Everywhere.
Oh my god,
Bro, they love Charlie down there, bro. They have this designated seat, man.
Oh no, they do, but dude, that movie is special, man. It really is. It's
That's
fucking-
what
it's
I
amazing.
hear, and I want to watch it. Like ever since I saw the trailer, I was really intrigued. But they
It's
don't
one of
show
the
it
best
local
movies I've
to-
seen in a long time, for sure.
Yeah, it looks really good, and yeah, I might see that next. I've heard it's a really good multiversal movie. I heard like of the multiversal movies released this summer, the winner is Everything Everywhere All at Once, and so I have to go see it.
Oh no, it's just fantastic. Definitely can't recommend it enough. No, it's very good.
Awesome.
Just-
Well, everyone, wait, you're saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and that guy back from the Goonies too. Like he hasn't been in some. I don't know. There's like this one of the actors. Like he's only been in a few things, but he was a little kid in I think Indiana Jones as well.
Oh,
little-
right. Heard about
He's in it
that.
too.
Right.
All the acting performances were fantastic in that, and it was it was cool.
Awesome. I'll have to check it out then. All right. Well, thank you guys, everyone, for joining us today. We had such a good time talking Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think you got full thumbs up here from the team, so highly recommend. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Anyway, stay radiant, everybody.